Liberty Falls, the other Black Ops 6 Zombies round-based launch map that we have not seen the full reveal of thus far, because that's going to be happening on the 28th of August at the end of this month at Call of Duty Next, as people are actually going to be playing this map live right there for us to enjoy. I'm so happy about that. Now, I do think we may be getting early access for this map, and it might be unveiled at Call of Duty Next if you pre-order the game, because the PlayStation Store did list an early release date for Black Ops 6, and that could very well be Liberty Falls early access. And considering they're letting people play live at the event, it would be the perfect time to announce this, and also, this is going to get so many new players into Zombies. This has been described as the more casual map, the easier one that everyone can jump into with a very simple to follow layout. But let's talk about the gameplay teaser itself that we got at the end of the Terminus gameplay trailer. Now, it hasn't revealed much, but we do learn some important pieces of information. First of all, we see a Liberty Falls police car, and we see a burning house in the background, and this of course is reminiscent of the teaser that we had before for Liberty Falls, which showed a mother and father with what seems to be their daughter escaping a burning down house as a zombie outbreak is ensuing. This most likely is Miller from Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, who evacuated Liberty Falls as a child. We know her father ended up succumbing to the infection. We are still yet to find out what happens to her mother, but in Season 5 Reloaded, which is going to be releasing very soon, next week on the 21st of August, we will be seeing the final Miller radio where she's going to give us details about Liberty Falls. And some people are thinking maybe the reason why Liberty Falls has not been fully revealed yet and why they're waiting until Call of Duty Next could be because this final Miller radio is going to reveal something huge, and they want to let us listen to that first, as well as the final Modern Warfare 3 Zombies cutscene. Of course, this is taking place years after the events of Black Ops 6 Zombies in 2021. We do see in this final cutscene that Dr. Ava Jansen is looking outside of a blindfolded window at something, and people are speculating right now that there might be some sort of time travel element involved, and she ends up at Liberty Falls, or she ends up at Liberty Falls in 2021. Something big is about to happen in the storyline, and it might be pertaining to Liberty Falls specifically, and whatever is given away is going to be a big spoiler for Liberty Falls, which is why they want to let us actually see that first before we see the gameplay that might spoil that cutscene or whatever. But I wonder if Liberty Falls could even be the birthplace of Ava Jansen. There are so many possibilities here, and we do see that there are Project Janus tanks in the background. As you know, Richtofen is controlling Liberty Falls. He had this town shut down, a giant wall built around, and he was trying to evacuate civilians with a fake cover story of there being a power plant leak. Now, in the little gameplay snippet we've received, we don't see a giant town around the map. Now, that could just be because it's in the distance, and Liberty Falls might just be a ginormous town, and that is why we don't see it. There does appear to be a lookout tower in the background as well. We see, of course, there's a gas station, and so many different things. Now, the other shot then shows the jet gun. Yes, that's right, the jet gun's been backed. And now, this has literally leaked out 2 years ago from the Warzone mobile files of all things. Now, the Call of Duty HQ is a unified engine. All Call of Duties are having their files added to the Call of Duty HQ, so that's why we've had this leaked for so long. And it does seem like Liberty Falls is not going to be a direct remake of TranZit by any means, but it's going to be some sort of thematic sequel to TranZit, but I think more so regarding the town section. As you know, I've posted a prior video where it does seem that the building on the left as well as the church in the town do indeed seem to line up with Liberty Falls. So maybe in the background of this shot could be a spot which is very similar to the layout of town. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be a one-to-one remake or remaster of town by any means, but it's going to be taking a lot of thematic inspiration, especially because the jet gun is now back, which is literally the wonder weapon from TranZit. But I assume it's going to work very differently because people hated the jet gun back in the day because it had an extra long cooldown, and of course it could then break and you would have to go around the map, re-get it, and it was just so frustrating. And TranZit was so big you had to go around on the bus, and I assume the bus is not going to be back on this, although it does sound like we hear a bus horn sound in the background of this little teaser. So we do also hear a classic round change noise as well. But I'm so excited to explore Liberty Falls, especially because Terminus seems so huge and complex. I think it's good to contrast that with an easier, smaller, easier to understand map. And yeah, I'm really excited for this map. Like I said, it seems to be a thematic sequel to TranZit, but it's not going to be a one-to-one remake. Now, of course, we know that there's been rumors that Black Ops 4 Zombies was supposed to be having a second season of content, and basically, apparently, the Victus maps, TranZit Diaries and Buried was supposed to release. We were supposed to get 2 more Chaos maps, but all of that got cut due to development problems, the game underperforming, there was blue screens at launch, there were so many issues with the game, and the Treyarch were pulled to instead work on Black Ops Cold War Zombies in a short period of time, taking over from Sledgehammer and Raven, who were previously the main developers. That's probably why TranZit never released, but what this means is that they have a lot of assets that we saw in Blackout, for example, and multiplayer maps from TranZit, and most likely Treyarch are now putting them to use inside of Black Ops 6 Zombies at last. And most likely Richtofen had the jet gun created, whether it was him himself or he had it ordered to be created for Liberty Falls specifically. And it now has a blue and grey camo on it. Now the next shot we see is of a portal, a dark ether portal, and what's interesting is this portal seems so different to any of the portals we have seen before. We can see roots or tentacles growing out of it. It is alive. It's literally a living bond with the dark ether, and I wonder if this has something to do with Ava Jansen's birth, because as you know, Ava Jansen seems to have been manufactured by DNA taken by Requiem of Samantha Maxis and Ravenov and inseminated inside of Dr. Grey with or without all of their consent. And for some reason, this ties into Richtofen's Project Janus. We just don't know exactly how, but Ava Jansen was described in a transmission by Dr. Grey that we saw in the last Modern Warfare 3 Zombies cutscene that she is a living bond with the dark ether. So I wonder if when Ava was born, it caused the dark ether to pierce the world once again. That is definitely a possibility, but nevertheless, we know that Project Janus for Richtofen requires a giant gateway with the dark ether. The shareholders of Janus wanted him to use Valentina's gateway on Maladatoan, but he said the time wasn't right and it would cause the total destruction of the world if they struck too soon. So instead, we're now going to be seeing the dark ether activated again and a giant gateway on what seems to be Liberty Falls. And we go inside the dark ether section and we do see a church, but it's upside down. And there's been lots of speculation about this church. Some people think that this could be the buried church, but it doesn't seem to be the buried church. If you look at the images, they don't look exactly right, and to be honest, all churches do look very, very similar, but it doesn't seem to be the buried church. But it could very well be the church that is from town that I mentioned before that seems to line up with Liberty Falls. Maybe we're now going to be able to go inside it within the dark ether. Now the dark ether looks the same as always with the grass and the purple Ethereum atmosphere, but it's upside down. So most likely we're going to enter this portal, and it does look like there's water and anti-gravity, and we're going to be able to swim around in here. There's definitely going to probably be Easter egg items we can get, and we see the characters falling through, and yeah, that's all we see. But we know there's going to be a lot more dark ether areas we are able to explore, because we had the Mr. Peaks Bubblegum TV clip revealed, and this showed that there was some of the pods from Shadows of Evil in a wood in the dark ether. So I'm guessing this is on Liberty Falls. I guess it could be on a DLC map or even Terminus, but assuming that the gateway is opened at Liberty Falls, I've got to assume that's probably on this map. Most likely, Richtofen opens the gateway at Liberty Falls, and it causes the dark ether to breach into our world at Liberty Falls and Terminus simultaneously, because we know they're going to be taking place at the same time. The Easter eggs will be taking place at the same time. We know on the Terminus Easter egg, we're going to be trying to rescue Maya's brother, as well as we're going to be trying to locate the coordinates of Richtofen. Peck is specifically going to be trying to do that, and maybe he is at Liberty Falls specifically, which would be interesting. Now we know that there's going to be an elite unit sent in to investigate this map, which we think is probably just going to be operators, but we're not exactly sure. I guess technically they could be a crew, but I don't think so. So I'm really hyped to explore this map, especially because it is so simple. I think it's good that you have a simple one and a hard one as well, catering to both types of fans. And like I said, there's going to be many homages to TranZit. I think aesthetically it's very, very similar. The official Liberty Falls description in Call of Duty's recent blog reads, footage from an incursion at a once quaint, now overrun West Virginian town also gives you the first glimpse at the second launch map, seemingly the epicenter of a dark ether outbreak. So yes, this is going to be the location where all hell breaks loose, and is basically the reason why all of the other Zombies maps even exist. It seems like this is the start of it all. Chaos is crawling through Liberty Falls, with much of the local population now succumbing to the results of a second simultaneous dimensional breach. Now we do know that there is of course a Liberty Falls multiplayer map called Rewind as well, set on the mall section, and apparently that's set in a different section to the section that we are in the Zombies experience, but most likely it's probably taking place after or before the Zombies experience. If I'd have to guess, probably after, considering we know that multiplayer takes place after the campaign, and we know Zombies as well as the campaign take place in 1991, so most likely it's in 1992, the multiplayer version that is. But there'll be probably lots of Zombies references and Easter eggs in the multiplayer version, and we'll probably get to play it in the beta, so I'll be sure to cover any that we find, and it will give us a good overview of the map. So yeah, Richtofen's controlling this place. There's police cars, vehicles, and we do know as well from leaks that there's apparently going to be civilians that are still escaping the map, evacuating as the zombie outbreak is ensuing, and there's going to be different side things we can do to try and rescue them. Now, I'm not sure if these are going to be forced objectives like we had in Exo Zombies, or if they're going to be optional. I'm hoping they are optional. We can stumble along these people, we can evacuate them, maybe get a reward, because we know there's going to be dynamic stuff like this on Terminus as well. You can actually bump into different security guards of Terminus that are being killed by the zombie, but this seems to be a dynamic thing. I'm not sure if you can actually rescue them on Terminus, but they're the bad people, of course. These are just innocent civilians on Liberty Falls. So I think there's going to be similar dynamic elements like this on Liberty Falls, and this makes complete sense because in the shot after we see this family escaping the burning house, we do see a person on the ground which looks to be getting eaten by a zombie. So most likely this is one of those civilians, and there's probably some that are just too far gone we can't rescue, most of which we'll come across as we're playing the map, but maybe there are some we are able to rescue, or maybe it's Easter egg or side quest specific that we're able to rescue people for rewards. But yeah, with Richtofen controlling this map, I do wonder if it's kind of going to be like TranZit's Easter egg. Maybe this is going to be a flip of Black Ops 2 zombies, because we know in the canon, Maxis' endgame is the canon choice. So maybe this time Richtofen's going to win with whatever ensues on this map. Because there has been an achievement leaked called World Domination in Liberty Falls, tap into your supervillain side, and we don't know if this is the Easter egg achievement, but many are speculating right now that this is the Easter egg achievement, and if it's called World Domination, tap into your villain side, then maybe we are going to be working for Richtofen. The elite unit that's sent in to investigate could be working for Richtofen, and we might be the villains on this map, as Richtofen is of course the main antagonist, and maybe we will be successful and win, leading to whatever goal Richtofen has, whether that be world domination or whatever it is. Like Eddie said in the Origins ending cutscene, the eyes should be blue, it's his turn, maybe this time he's really going to win, and we will be left on the back foot. I think it would be good to get a map, Terminus, where we're playing as quote-unquote the good people, although I guess the lines are a bit blurred, and then we have the quote-unquote bad people on this map. A stark contrast. If that is the Easter egg achievement, like I previously thought, then maybe you can either do a good or a bad side. Maybe you can be a supervillain, killing the civilians, causing a massive massacre, or you actually have empathy and emotion and you try and rescue them, but that could go against what the Easter egg requires. So I'm really looking forward to what the final Miller radio reveals, and what it reveals about Liberty Falls, and whether it has to do with the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies ending. I've speculated before Richtofen might show up at the end of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. I really feel like he's still around in the background story, and maybe that could be something to do with Liberty Falls. She's looking out of the window, peeking out, maybe someone is greeting her. Could it even be Samantha Maxis, somehow actually still alive and greets her, literally being her mother? Could it be Richtofen? Could it be his son? Who knows? The final thing I want to mention though is, as you know, MrRoflWaffles has been doing some really weird marketing campaign where he's been traveling over the United States. He's literally been in the real life location of Liberty Falls, which is based on the town in West Virginia called Harper's Ferry, and people are confused what exactly this is. Activision have came out and said this is not an official thing, and people are like, what is going on? Because Milo has not been invited to events for Call of Duty for a while. He's been in their bad books because he's been given honest criticism about the game. However, interestingly enough, people who went to the recent recording event to play Terminus early said that Milo was indeed at the event.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a running joke or something, because I personally haven't watched any of the YouTubers who were there at the event, but Milo, MrRoflWaffles was at this event. I don't know why, is this some sort of a joke? People are saying he was not supposed to, I don't know. He was there.
He's still doing his
really
whole cult thing.
Oh yeah, whatever. I forgot about that.
He's
Yeah,
got
so
his
maybe
own
that's why.
universe, Luria.
Yeah, but he was there.
So it's confirmed now that he is back in Call of Duty's good books. So could he be teasing a reveal for Liberty Falls? And this is what it's building up to, because right now we've just thought it was fake. Of course, the Truth Lies marketing with Black Ops 6 has made this all seem very dubious and confusing. Personally, what I think has happened here is he has been invited, but I think he's created his own viral marketing campaign. I don't think this has been approved or instructed by Activision or Call of Duty in any way. This is just something he's done on his own accord, and it could be leading up to the reveal of Liberty Falls. Some people have also been speculating that maybe at Call of Duty Next, MrRoflWaffles might be the person presenting the event, revealing Liberty Falls to the world, and that could be what it's building towards. But again, it doesn't seem to be an official thing whatever he is doing. It seems like he's constructed it himself most likely, but only time will tell. We do know though, he is being invited once again, so he's probably going to be at Call of Duty Next itself once again, so like I said, maybe that is what it's building towards, or maybe he just wants to do an in real life video of Liberty Falls, and that's what this is for. Honestly, it's all very confusing. I'm not really sure what's going on, but like I said, maybe he is going to be the person to reveal Liberty Falls. So yeah, it's absolutely wild what's going on, but that's pretty much everything we know about Liberty Falls thus far. I think town is going to be a section of it, maybe not a one-to-one remake, but there's going to be some similar buildings and a layout to it, at least part of the map, but it's not just going to be that. Liberty Falls is going to be a lot more expansive, and then of course there's going to be lots of inspiration from the real-life town of Harper's Ferry. The jet gun is back, and I assume other things from TranZit will be back too. Potentially, I guess, maybe sections from Buried too, but I think it's mainly going to just be the town. With that being said, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Plenty of content coming soon here on the channel. Make sure you look out for all of that. We'll of course be getting Season 5 Reloaded next week, and maybe the final cutscene is going to give us more information about Liberty Falls. Maybe it's going to be in Liberty Falls specifically. Even if it has nothing to do with Liberty Falls, the Miller Radio will be giving us more stuff, so I'll cover that here on the channel. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.